In this video, I will talk about developing Alexa skills. This video will be a hands-on approach to developing a simple skill that you can complete in about an hour. So, I want to start by saying that developing an Alexa skill is not really a complex thing to do. It's very easy if you understand the parts of it, and we're going to talk about what parts you need to combine to actually make things work. So first of all, we need two different things. We need Amazon developer account and AWS account. So if I go to my Amazon developer.amazon.com, then I can go to Alexa. So, or you can directly go to developer.amazon.com/Alexa, and what we need to do is we need to sign in. And I sign in, and you choose Alexa Skill Kit and start a skill. Okay, so this is the design part of the skill. When I press on start a skill, then we can go inside. So what is the Alexa Skills Kit? Alexa Skills Kit is a collection of self-service APIs, tools, documentation, and code samples that makes it fast and easy for you to add skills to Alexa. So this is something that will help us build, and Amazon will be guiding us a lot when we actually create a skill. So you can check out different tabs here. You can I think they have some sample code and stuff like that, but let's start a skill for now. So I'm gonna say sign in. Okay, so I'm gonna say Alexa, because developer is not only for Alexa but also for apps, Amazon apps and that kind of stuff. So when I choose an Alexa, I'm gonna say Alexa Skills Kit. Okay, so these are the things that I have for now. We don't need to worry about this. Let's go to add skill. And here in this screen, you can see that you can choose what type of skills you want to build. So is it a smart home skill? Maybe you want to turn off some lights and that kind of stuff, or you want a flash briefing skill that you want to update news every now and then. Or you want a video skill that's tailored towards the Echo, devices with screens. Now, in this lesson, it's just a simple custom skill that will tell us a fact, which is also used in many Alexa examples. So we're going to build a custom interaction model. I'm going to choose the first one. Language is English. Name, I'm gonna say soccer, or my favorite club is Manchester United. Facts, right? So this is the name of my app, right? This is the name of my skill. This is something that will be visible in the skills store. So it's very important to choose this properly. Now, invocation name, as you can see here, is something that I will use to talk with Alexa. So when I say Alexa, start Manchester United facts, or I could not use this, and I could say Alexa, start United facts. I could say anything, right? So I'm gonna use the same thing because I think this is like a good, nice and easy, short way to start your skill. So in this case, I would say Alexa, start Manchester United facts. Now I could also say facts, right? So I could say Alexa, start facts. So, yeah, but this is not so good practice because facts could be anything, So if I say Manchester United, it's more evident, it's good practice to have a very name that explains itself. So okay, but you can choose anything, no problem. So global fields, will I be using audio player? I won't be using audio player. You can use audio player for your future apps. Video app, we don't want to deal with video for now. I don't want to render any template, so I'm gonna say save. Next. Okay, so this is where I want to do something different. Okay, so the different way we're gonna take is the beta version of building the skill. Okay, so this is the, if I don't click on here, this is the old way of doing things. It's it used to work, you know, I made few skills with this, but we're gonna do the new one, new style, beta version. And to go into the beta version, if you can see this, I don't know if you can see this or not, but if you can, then launch SkillBuilder beta. So enter. So yeah, save. Oh, come on. So launch, discard. Yeah, that happened to me because I was playing with this before. It shouldn't happen to you. You can just go inside. Okay, so intents, right? So it should be something like this for you: 3 built-ins, 0 custom. So what we're gonna do is we are going to build an intent. The blue thing you see, intent, is something like, what can my app or my skill do, right? My skill, what a user using the app is able to do with the skill or the app. So I'm able to ask the app to give me a fact. That's one thing I can do, and I want to keep it at that now. You know, we'll be adding more stuff in the future, but we're going to start with a simple app. So I just want my app to be able to give me a fact when I ask for a fact. So we're going to add that intent, and the name of the custom intent will be fact intent, right? So create intent. Sample utterances, I'm gonna say okay, so before if I type, the sample utterances is something that you will use to ask the app for a certain thing. So the intent was just like a feature, right? You just say feature and you map that with a sample utterances, and sample utterances is the human way to ask for something. So you know, I'm not going to say fact intent to my Alexa. I'm going to say give me a fact, or I'm just going to say fact or new fact, right? So that's good for now. We just, and this is all for one fact intent. Okay, so we can have more than one utterances for each intent. It will ask us, does the intent require confirmation? I'm going to say no. And what else do we need here? Stop. So I think this is all we need for now. We have something called a slot that we can use to have people ask for a certain thing. For example, give me a fact about a certain player, or give me a fact about a certain manager. You know, so in place of the of a slot we create, they can give us a name or something, but we're not going to use that. You know, this is the first app we'll be building together, so we want this to be simple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say configuration. Now interaction model is done. I'm going to go to configuration. I'm going to save this. Yes. So okay, so in here the thing we will be using is AWS Lambda, right? That runs your code. We talked about using Lambda to host our code, host our logic that will, you know, actually implement. That will actually give us the results back and actually process what we want and give it back to us. Now we could also use HTTPS and use services like nrock, that kind of stuff, to host our code locally, but this is the recommended way, as you can see here, and a lot of people do it this way. And so, for now we need a default endpoint, right? We don't have that yet, so I'm just gonna skip this for now. Account linking, I don't want any account linking. Account linking is, for example, when you want to order a lift with your skill, we don't need anything like that. Permissions, we don't need the device address for this. We don't need anything. We don't need list read, list write. So I'm going to try to save and see if it lets us. Okay, so we do need to provide an endpoint. So let's quickly go over how to get that endpoint. So if I go to my AWS management console, and now for this you need an AWS account. That was one of the prerequisites of this tutorial. So, but if you don't have one, go to amazonaws.com, or type in AWS Amazon on Google, go into the website and sign up for it. And you have to use a credit card to get started, but it's not that it's really simple. It's not that hard. And once you are logged into the service, what you want to do is to type in here Lambda, Lambda, and we want to create a function. And in this function, we will search for, I don't know, Alexa. Okay, so Amazon gives us 6 templates for making our Alexa skill, So we are going to use one of those templates, and we'll quickly go over what we can do there. And the thing to note is that Node.js, Node, and Python. So they give us 5 templates with Node.js and 1 with Python. I like Python more, but they don't have one for Python, so I'm just gonna use Node.js for now. So fact, since ours is a fact skill, I'm gonna choose on fact, and the name of the function is going to be my fact skill, right? Okay, now in this role, what we need to do is, not going too deep, what we need to do is create a custom role. Actually, let me see. Create a new role from templates. Okay, so Lambda. I think this will do it. So here, actually, let me pull that back. So we're gonna choose create a custom role. Okay, none of these are wrong answers. You can, if you had a role, you could choose a existing role. If you don't have a role, you can create a new role. You can create a custom role. But I chose the I chose to create a new role. Let me make sure. So create a custom role, right? Make sure you create a custom role, and here you should already have they'll give you something already pre-filled. I'm just gonna say allow. Now for this tutorial, all you need is this. Okay, so it'll be something like Lambda basic execution. Now if you're familiar with AWS, and then you can choose one of your existing role, but for now just remember that choose an existing, create a new role, and just do next and follow what I did, and you should have this. So this is giving Lambda permissions to talk to certain resources. In this case, we're not talking with any AWS resources, we're just getting stuff from the developer side of things. So in here, you got a bunch of code, right? A bunch of code. So for now, I'm just going to say create function, and we'll look into the code later. Okay, and what this will do is give us an ARN number, and I'm going to copy this, and this is the thing we will paste into this default value. Okay, so next, oops, save. I don't know why this is going to be safe. Please make sure that Alexa skill kit is selected for the event. Okay, so one more thing we have to make sure is that in the triggers, now right now we're in the configuration tab. Now in the triggers, I'm going to say add a trigger, and over here I'm going to say Alexa skills kit, right? Not smart home, but skills kit. Okay, enter. Your Lambda function has been successfully created. You can now change its code and configuration. Alright, that's good news. Now let's go back and try to save. Should be able to save now. Next. Okay, now we should be able to actually start testing our skill. Okay, we should be able to start testing our skill. Now we can't just start testing our skill because we haven't changed any code in here. Obviously we have to change our code according to our needs. Now if you look at the code, if I go here and maximize this, we just want to look at the code. It's a big code, but I'm gonna simplify this for you. So we're just now you don't need to know JavaScript even, for this. If you use Python, or if you don't know any language, I think you can still do this one. Maybe when we start doing more complex things, it'll be a bit tougher. But for now, I'm going to explain a few things really quick. So I'm just saying import, require the Alexa SDK. That's the software library that makes us able to, talk with Alexa, and defining app ID. Now I don't know if it's required, but anyways, let's go down, and now constant language strings, right? So in the fact right here, there's a bunch of facts, right? Something. Year on Mercury is 88 days long, so it looks like solar system facts for now. Let's keep that as it is now. We just want to first make this app work. And if you go down here, const handlers. Now the handlers is where the the handlers is the section where we need to look into first, right? So whenever we call the upon launch, right? When we start the app, it will directly go and try to call a method named getFact, and getFact is right here. It will just go and get one of the facts, right? And it's a random fact every single time. So finally we will be this will return a random fact. So that's the thing going on here. You don't need to worry about a lot of things. For now it just works. But the thing we definitely need to change is if we go up and right here, get new fact intent, right? This is the name of the intent. Over here, if we come back to our interaction model, we want to double check where we put our name, the intent of the name of the intent. So it's just fact intent. So what we need to do is we need to just delete the get new and just say fact intent. Right, so get fact, and whatever the fact will be given will be returned to us. So let's quickly save this. I hope what I did makes sense for you, but if not, we'll just review it very quickly. all we did was Amazon gives us this template to do a basic fact skill. We are doing a fact skill. So everything would be good, but we don't have the same intent name as whatever they had over here. So I just changed fact intent, which is I have on my SkillBuilder. So everything should work from what I think. So let's just quickly try. So if I go over here, if I put on test, oops, and this is the test part, right? Echo devices. Now I could test this on my Echo device, sure, or Echo Sim, but I can just test it very easily on the screen. So test, and I'm going to say give me a fact over here. So when I say this, actually this is voice simulator. I'm just going to cut this and enter utterance. This is like me talking to an Alexa. So here. So let's see what this does now, okay?
Here's your fact. Earth is the only planet not named after a god.
Whoa. You know, I'm trying to build a Manchester United facts. I don't want fact about God and Earth. So for that, what I need to do is quickly go and type in google.com, and I want to say Man United facts. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy few facts. I don't need much, you know. I can only have maybe 5, you know. So what kind of thing makes sense for my app, right? So right here, this one looks good. With a capacity of over 75,000, Old Trafford is the second largest football stadium in the United Kingdom after the Wembley Stadium, and the 9th largest in Europe. So this one looks really good. So I'm going to copy this, and over my facts, I'm going to copy one of this. Okay, so that's there. So I want to get a few more facts, right? So what else can I so actually this, I don't like this site. I mean, let me quickly, and this is the stuff you'll need to do. You know, if you're building a fact, you need to look into different sources for your data. So this is part of building an app. So this website looks great. You know, I can just start copying and pasting. Now this is the old fact, I know for sure, because I'm a fan of this club. So this one looks good. Oh, this one looks really good. And this is a short one too, so I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna copy 5 facts, okay, not much, because I don't want us to spend a lot of time in building this simple app. So number 2 is done. I don't know what. Oops, come on. And make sure you, when pasting, you don't paste this on the other line, that kind of stuff. You know, I want to actually maximize this so that we can. So we need 5 more. Before I'm gonna delete a whole bunch of these. Right, so actually, why not delete a lot of these? Now, one thing to make sure is after every single quote, you know, a sentence that ends with a single quote, you need to put a comma for the new line. But after the last fact, you don't need a quote. So I'm just gonna add 3 more quotes. Oh, this one is really good. Okay, so Wow, this one is a good one. I like everything about this club. Maybe that's why, you know, I don't know. Okay. All right, how about just 4? We don't need more. So what I'm doing is I'm checking that I don't have that double bracket, right? I do, so I'm just gonna delete this. It's gonna have 1 bracket, so escape out, save. And we should be able to test our skill now. So I'm gonna go back here and I'm gonna say give me a fact again. Oops. Oh, I see what happened. So okay, so what this did is, you know, so I think by default our response is going into US. There's 3 different sections. I don't know if I showed you this, but for some reason they have EN US, EN, ENGB for Great Britain, and a German part. So I think what's happening is, since our skill name is American Space Facts, so as I could see from there, right, American Space Facts. So for now I'm just gonna come over here and replace everything with that. I don't think I need this. Okay, so save. And you know, this is just a simple way to get started. Obviously we don't want to be using others' code all the time, but this is really easy way to add something to your you know, collection of apps. And everyone needs a fact app, I would say. You know, you could sometimes I don't, you know, I could make some fact app that I can just copy stuff from, and I don't need to memorize it then, but whenever I ask Alexa for a fact and I hear that over and over, then maybe I'm able to memorize it slowly. So I think it's a good thing to have. You can build this for your kids, for your friends, to impress your, you know, I don't know, friends, family, children. So let's try this now.
Here's your fact. A year on Mercury is just 88 days long.
Okay, so I clicked on this again. Okay, so let's try.
Here's your fact. Manchester United's 9-0 victory against Ipswich Town at Old Trafford on 4th of March 1995 remains the biggest ever Premier League victory.
Wow, that's what I wanted. So one more time, okay? I don't want this to be repeated over and over. So let's try what happens when I do one more time.
Here's your fact. Manchester United's 9-0 victory against Ipswich.
I don't know, maybe.
Here's your fact. Manchester United's 9-0 victory against Ipswich Town at Old Trafford on 4th of March 1995 remains the biggest ever Premier League victory.
Okay, so I think it was caching our entry, but if I say give me a fact and ask let's see what we get.
Here's your fact. In 1956, Manchester United's Busby Babes won the league title with an average player age of just 22 years.
So as you can see, you know, to test the skill or your app, you can just put your input in here and you'll get an output over here. In text as well as if you listen.
Here's your fact. In 1956, Manchester United's Busby Babes
then
won
the
league title with an average player age of just 22 years.
Now, you know, you can all now you already saw that I get a different entry, different time.
Here's your fact. Manchester United have the joint most FA Cup wins in history, along with Arsenal, 11.
So, that's I think that's a really good fact that I just built, and this is my first time building this Manchester United fact. I have a skill about Manchester United. Maybe I can integrate this with my skill, or I can completely publish, right? I can go and publish this app now. Now to publish, I need to give them testing instructions. So I would say something like, category would be sports, and testing instructions say ask. So we have to follow everything that they say, otherwise our skill will be denied. So I'm going to say news. Please detail any special instructions to test your skill. Include any account or hardware requirements. If your skill request permissions, includes ways to test these permissions request. This information is used by searching. So I'm just going to say ask give me a fact, because it's a simple skill, right? So give me a fact and countries and region. So every country, short skill description. Now this is an optional part. Okay, you don't want to if you don't want to publish, if you just want to test and make a different skill, then you can go ahead, but I'm just going to show this quickly. So short skill description gives the user fact about Manchester United. Full skill description, simple. So for now I'm just gonna say ask for a Manchester United fact and get ready to learn something new. Okay, so I don't know, this I've been denied by the Alexa team when I'm trying to submit my apps before, so just be careful. Just try to be more explain more stuff. So example phrases, give me a fact, and I'm going to say fact. Oh, Alexa, start Manchester United facts. So as you can see, Amazon kind of guides me on the right way to do stuff, so for now I just have these three. I'm going to say facts as well. Alright, keywords, Man United. That's cool. So I have to upload a couple of images. And with this you have to say yes to a bunch of compliance things, and you should be able to submit this for testing. But that's not my goal. My goal is for you to start building apps and testing it at least locally. So you can just do that with a test here, and you can also go to this website called let me make sure, Echo Sim, right? So if you don't have an Alexa, so at this point, if you have an Echo device, then you should be able to use the invocation name to test your skill from your device. But if not, then you can either use the test in here, otherwise this website called echosim.io, and you can log in with Amazon and start testing with a virtual device. Now I think this one is easy with test, otherwise you can test your skill with your Alexa device. And with that, we want to conclude this tutorial. I hope you understood a few things about building an app, and you should be able to build a simple fact skill with this tutorial. Ask me any questions if you have about anything, and I have a lot more tutorial coming for you guys about Alexa skills. I want to build up on this, so I want to be building more complex apps, maybe store some data or use some APIs and get the data dynamically, you know, like update the data. And I'll show you one of my apps in the future that I built that kind of updates data every week by itself. So yeah, look out for that, and check out my other videos. And thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks.